I don't see us having any reason whatsoever to not continue to use Paradigm. Rather, I don't know how we would function without Paradigm because it just helps pull all the pieces together.
Well, just to get started here, can you just tell me a little bit about Kingdom Building Supply and your services?
Yeah, well, Kingdom Building Supply got started in 2017. There was a group of us that moved to this area, and from where they moved from, they had a lumber yard and a truss shop. So they wanted to start that. And about a year later, um, I became involved, and my sons, and they were talking to us about the possibility of maybe putting in a metal shop. They always wanted a metal shop addition to what was already here, lumber yard and truss shop. So about a year later, in fall of 2018, we added the metal shop, and at that point, um, consolidated the whole um, company, and I became the manager for the entire company. So that's my role here, and we we primarily focus on post frame building packages, and just wanting two things that I can think of is just a company where we could all come together and work, um, and then and be a company where people can come to and they can depend on us. You know, if we say that we're going to do something, um, they can expect that, and um, just try to be men of our words, I guess.
Mhm. When you started folding in the metal shop into it and kind of created what is now Kingdom Building Supply, is
Mhm.
that when you first got in touch with Paragon or they reached out to you and started setting up Paradigm?
That was when we started exploring options for something that would fit the metal shop edition better. So before that, we'd been using QuickBooks as a ERP or accounting software, whatever you want to call it. We wanted something that was a little bit more specific to the metal shop, and especially the manufacturing process, and just the research that we had done, different platforms that we looked at. I would say the primary one that we had looked at was QuickBooks Metal Shop
Mhm.
versus the Paradigm option. And probably what made us choose Paradigm was just felt like that we're further along in the development of the program, and had a stronger company behind it. At the time, I don't even know where QuickBooks Metal Shop is today, but I that was kind of what was happening for us at that time.
Got it. So you haven't thought about switching in the meantime.
No, we haven't.
Could you just go through a little bit of maybe what a typical day looks like for you and for the company, kind of the, I guess, general operations, and then maybe how Paradigm maybe changed that or how you work those operations through Paradigm when you first set it up?
I guess as far as how a typical day would be, customers would come to to the office, and then if they order metal, they need to go out to the metal shop. They'll horn out to the metal shop to tell them this customer's coming to have it picked up. And if he's also going to the lumber yard, they'll also do that. The customer needs to go out um, to the lumber yard for that, and trusses the same way. And then specifically how Paradigm, how that helps in our process. It, when a customer comes, he can come into the salesperson and place the order for whatever he's looking for, whether it's metal or accessories or um, lumber. Trusses typically are not we typically don't have like trusses on hand. They have to order those beforehand. But if the customer just wants to order something, he can get that released. If it's products we have in stock, they can go out and so the salesperson can at that point open up an order, put the order in, release the order, and it will go out to the different shops. And if it's something that's for immediate pickup, it will flag um, like their workstation will go off with like a little buzzer, and there's a red banner that shows up saying that this customer has this order's been released and it needs to be taken care of right away because the customer's coming out, and it gives them a heads up that the customer's coming. And that is based on where in Paradigm we have it set that the location for the product that they're ordering, wherever that um, product is getting picked, then those stations would go off and then the customer would go out. We like it if they can be available for, when the customer comes, they already know what he wants and can have it ready.
Could you talk a little bit about the way that Paradigm has kind of helped with the management of the different aspects of your business? So, like inventory management, delivery, customer relations or communication, just kind of everything other than the production.
I would say on the management side, one thing that Paradigm has done really well is in linking everything together, being able to not only release that order the customer has, um, in and also being able to see the statuses of what is manufactured, what isn't, what has been, and through the fulfillment module, um, having that as something that as they pull things, as it gets put on the shelf ready for the customer, it shows up in here in the office, and it just is very informative and helpful to let us know where things are going and without them really even doing anything other than just doing their work. And then as far as like on the delivery side, one thing that I would say that's very helpful with the way that they have it is with the delivery app and the ability for drivers to take pictures of where they left things, and that just gets attached right back to the order. And in the office, we can see that, oh, this order was delivered, and here's a picture of the items that have been delivered. And we get lots of phone calls of, oh, you didn't put this on, you didn't put the screws on that order. Um, we can't find them. We'll pull up the picture. Oh, well, they were over here. You send them the picture, and oh, well, someone took those or something like that. So that on the management side, that just it's very helpful how Paradigm links all of those different things together,
Right.
and you're able to track them.
Talking more on the production side, um, maybe in terms of minimizing waste, maximizing output, just kind of
Mhm.
efficiency in the whole process, linking that together with the management. Um, what are some benefits of that, or how have you guys used that side of things and seen that work well?
On the production side of it, um, I'm not personally as familiar with how all that process works as the management side. Um, but it does work well that they can, they have an order that comes out and it gets released from the salesperson. They can see all their orders and they can see, oh, we've got this many panel orders, for example, that are of this color, and the ability to use connects and send it right to the machine through Paradigm versus typing in all of the panel lengths. It gives way less opportunity for error, and whatever gets entered in by the salesperson is what gets made on the roll former. And just that process of just less entry and it just gets transferred over and um, gets made on the machine. And there's just way less opportunity for error and putting typos. That would be on the panel side. On the trim side, the special order trim module that they have the ability to draw up a special trim and making, you know, letting the customer see that and then putting in a price for that special trim as it goes, and then they can all just see it at the shop. It just all just works really well in being able to communicate to the customer and then also being able to just produce it, you know, without a lot of explanation because it's just the details are there.
What were some of the things that you were looking to get out of a software? I know you talked about comparing it to QuickBooks Meadow at the time.
Mhm.
Um, is there anything in there in terms of comparing the 2 or any other software you're looking at that you're looking for specifically? And I guess what led to choosing Paradigm over, some of the other ones?
I would say a little bit like I said before, one of the bigger things that we were looking for is a company that seemed solid and had a lot of designing done, that there's not a lot of things that you need to add in or need to kind of help supplement to figure out how to make it work. Um, but for us, um, Paradigm has grown a lot since we've even had them or since we started using them, and they've made a lot of very positive changes and they've kept up with the industry very well. And for us, it was we never looked back, and it was something that we're very glad that we did use them.
Are there any examples that you can share or that come to mind in terms of them kind of keeping up with the industry? Like if there's something you're looking for or would be very helpful that they then, added in or integrated into the software?
We here at Kingdom, if we think about Paradigm, they're just very helpful in anything that comes up as far as like if we want a report that we would like to see a little differently or that's specific to our company, or um, maybe a little add-on feature here or there. I wish I could think of an example right now. Well, one thing that comes to my mind right now is one thing that they've helped us develop is just a dashboard for showing the production of the metal panels and trim. So it shows a 100% capacity for the day and what the capacity is that we have in each department. And then as orders get released, it comes onto that dashboard and all the salespeople can pull that up. It gives them a visual of how closely the day is filled up, how um, what they can communicate to customers on um, what can and can't be done. Working with Paradigm on things like that are um, they just they just do very well in um, helping you either say, yeah, we could maybe do it this way, or we don't really have an option for that, or um, but as a whole, their service as far as just having a responsive company, they're very responsive and have excellent service.
Are there any things that you would like to see added to the software or the capabilities at this point?
I don't know that there's really anything that I can think of right now that just, you know, glares at me like I would say they really need to change this or this. I would say one of the things that would be helpful and I'm not sure if they're working on this or not, but the ability, if you have the ability to like text customers from Paradigm, I could see that being helpful where they could just communicate directly via text, even um, right out of Paradigm.
I guess kind of going back to the beginning, or maybe reflecting on the whole thing in general. Um, are there any places where implementing Paradigm either cut certain costs, or in the case where maybe you didn't have a software before, um, cut some of that inefficiency out? I know you talked a lot about everyone being able to see everything and it being all integrated. Were there any places that you saw specifically things improve or maybe costs get cut by implementing Paradigm?
I know just as far as efficiency, one of the first things that comes to my mind is at first when we were using Paradigm, we did not use fulfillment and didn't use that for the first few years. And we had a lot of paper trails that we were trying to get to the different departments to pull the like pull the products or um, get it ready for customers. And and then also items that come in as they come in, receiving them, knowing that they're here. Um, that that was something that when we added that part, I would say that that was a significant um, step in being in just helping the flow and helping the communication, um, and way less paper trails. Just way less trying to get documents out for people to, drivers just taking their sheets out and trying to load a load that's got 100 different items on it. And now with fulfillment using connected to Paradigm, it um, just makes so that customer or that drivers can see that, oh, I still have a box that's staged on so and so shelf, and they can just go there and find that, and it helps them to know that oh, I missed that. So I would say in that part, it cut costs because we had less times when drivers forgot something or missed something on their paperwork, and it just flagged it like this hasn't been loaded, and um, helped to helped in that way.
In the 7 or almost maybe 8 years now that you've been working with Paragon and using Paradigm, were
Mhm.
there any features or modules or anything other than, I guess, the fulfillment, which you were just talking about, that you started using or that they released and you started using in that time that you found helpful?
We used Paradigm at the beginning, but we did not use Connects. Connects is what talks to your back controller on the roll former. So we would have added Connects since we started, and then we would have added Fulfillment Pro and also the driver apps we would have used. And I can't think of anything else that we would have used,
Gotcha.
or that we're using now that we didn't have then. And I'm not exactly sure when those, would those all have been available right to start with or not. I guess I don't really remember for sure. They've added a lot and they changed the entire look of how Paradigm looks today compared to how it was when we started.
I guess just to kind of wrap up here, looking ahead, what are the next steps for Kingdom in terms of, you on the business side, and how does Paragon and the Paradigm software sort of fit into uh, your future plans, and how you want things to grow and evolve going forward here?
I don't see us anytime having any reason whatsoever to not continue to use Paradigm. And um, rather, I don't know how we would function without Paradigm because it just helps pull all the pieces together. And from what I know of Paradigm at this point, we are I would say, one of the smaller users here at Kingdom Building Supply, and they just have a lot of capacity to expand or even do multi-location and things like that. And we're one location, planning to just stay one location. And to me, it looks like something that'll service us well for many years.
All right, Marcus. Well, that's all for me and for us.
Okay.
Appreciate you taking the time to be here and kind of give us a little bit of insight into how you're working with Paragon and using Paradigm. And good luck with everything going forward.